Let's look at how to pronounce the diphthong O in American English. So it is a diphthong, meaning there's going to be two symbols there, and we slide from the O to the position, O, so we close as we say this vowel in English. I use no snow as my anchor words to remind me of spelling and how this sounds. And speaking of spelling, the O vowel has a number of different spellings in English. It can be the double O, so that would be O plus A or O plus E. OA together like in road or coat, or O with a silent E at the end like in note or home. We do have some words with just letter O saying O, like go or no or so. This is less common, a less common spelling. Another somewhat less common spelling is OW, like in snow or no. So the errors that tend to happen on the diphthong O is that in your language, this sound might not be a diphthong, meaning it doesn't slide. You may just have an O, a pure O, monophthong vowel. So in your language, O is going to be shorter and it's not going to change position. Whereas in English, O, my tongue raises and my lips get less pursed. O, they close a little bit as my tongue raises in English. So it'll sound, if you use your native language O, it'll sound too short. For example, in English we say no. In your language, you might, if you said it with your accent, you may say no, no, just that simple little O. The problem there, typically you're understood, but it may sound a little bit rude or clipped, and it may also confuse the listener if they don't hear that full O diphthong. Another error that can happen is based on how words are spelled. As you're learning English, we do have letter O saying ah in many words, and so sometimes people will find a word that should have the O and they'll say an ah sound instead. For example, a word like program, we have O, but there's a lot of PRO words like process, for example, which in American English we say with the ah vowel. So there may be some confusion about what you're supposed to say when you see the letter O, and therefore saying the incorrect vowel. So usually the most common error pattern is just making this vowel too short, a monophthong, instead of a sliding diphthong. To practice, just thinking about making it longer tends to help, especially in these words that end with O. I would practice with go, so, no. And for the words that have a consonant at the end, like road or coat, just watch if I'm using the air, it's going to be too short, like road. So just thinking road, road, making sure you have a nice round lips and that you're sliding and closing as you go. Thanks for practicing diphthong O with me today, and check out the rest of my videos for the back vowels, the front vowels, and all of the sounds of English here on the channel and in our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.